Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dixie, joined by Katrine. We're from Easy Marketing, and today we're continuing our 7-part social media crash course. You know that your business should be posting on social media, but what and when and how often? Creating a content calendar helps you stay on message, plan ahead, and create efficiency by scheduling posts in advance across multiple platforms. Today, we're going to guide you through the steps to create a monthly content calendar in just 15 minutes. Did you know that most effective social media accounts are using an editorial calendar to identify monthly content themes? Or that free tools like Meta Business Suite can help you automate your post across Facebook and Instagram? We'll show you these tips and more over the next few minutes. So grab a notepad and stick to the end, and you'll be entered to win a free consultation for your business. So this is part 5 of our social media crash course. If you're just joining us, don't worry. Each of these workshops is self-contained, so you can jump in today or at any point. But if you'd like to catch up or revisit any of the previous topics, we encourage you to do that. The entire series is going to be available for a limited time on our YouTube channel, Easy Marketing. In our upcoming 2 sessions, we're going to cover social media ads and hashtags, which is a highly requested topic. So we invite you back for those. Be sure to check your follow-up email later today for those registration links. Katrine?
And if you never met us before, we are Easy Marketing. We are located in northeast corner of Florida, but we have customers all over the country and actually the world. And we do websites, we work with social media, we work with printed material, and of course, we work with constant contact and email marketing.
Thank you, Katrine. As we think about putting together a content calendar, it's important to know why. If you've been sort of winging it when it comes to social media, I guarantee someone in your organization is going to ask why we're adding an extra step. And the answer is that intentional social media is effective social media. Just throwing up stuff on your socials when you think about it or when you're feeling inspired, or frankly, just whenever you have time, is not the key to success. When you're intentional about what you post, when you do it, and how you do it, your marketing efforts are going to be much more effective. And because you're going to be batching together your work, you'll be much more efficient, which is going to save you a ton of time and effort in the long run. The good news is it doesn't have to be super complicated. At Easy Marketing, we're all about making things easy, so we've put together a simple 3-step plan. So before you jump into your content calendar, we encourage you to identify your high-level focus areas with what journalists and marketers call an editorial calendar. Think of this as your vision board, the big ideas. So these could be the topics, products, or events that you want to make sure get top billing on your social accounts this year. Then from that, you're going to use the editorial calendar to make a much more detailed content calendar for each month. And we're going to show you how step by step in just in a moment. And finally, you're going to make sure that it gets done and save yourself time in the process by scheduling the majority of your posts in advance with some automation tools, which we're going to show you live. So the first step in our plan is to create an editorial calendar. This is something we like to do on an annual basis to align your marketing goals with your business goals. Think of it as a year in a glance. It's basically a high-level overview of the things you want to focus on this year and a general time frame for each. So how you break that down is going to depend mostly on what industry you're in, but we're going to give you a few examples to get the wheels turning. For many organizations, it's common to have a different social media theme for every month. So this is one of our clients, a healthcare institution. If you're like them, you might dedicate your social media post in February to heart health, in October to Breast Cancer Awareness Month. If you were, say, a tax professional, you would probably devote April to income tax filings and December to last minute deductions ideas. That's just one way to organize it around different themes each month. Another way to organize it is around specific dates or events. This is common in nonprofits. So say you have a big golf tournament in March and a fundraising gala in September, you're going to structure your editorial calendar around supporting those. So say the month or two prior to your big event, all your posts are going to be focused on that. Things like registrations, thanking sponsors, all that sort of thing. And then in between your big events, you can feature what we call evergreen stories. So evergreen is things that are not date sensitive. So these can be sort of the behind the scenes things, stuff about your organization's mission, the people that you serve, even featuring the dedicated volunteers that make it all happen. Even if your business isn't seasonal, it's still helpful to have one specific service or a line of products to help you focus your social media efforts each month. So if you do consumer goods, let's say you own a bike shop, you might decide to focus on beach cruisers and bike carriers in May when people are starting to think about summer vacations. And then in November and December, you could focus on children's bikes for the holidays. And that kind of gives focus and aim to all your social media posts. But however you organize it, having this annual high-level editorial calendar helps outline your areas of focus for the year and really is an essential first step for social media success. Step two is actually creating the content calendar, which is what we're here to talk about today. And it is exactly what it sounds like, a calendar of each individual social media post. You're going to plan it out, typically on a monthly basis, concentrating on those focus areas that you identified in the editorial calendar. So for each post, at a minimum, you're going to include in this calendar the topic, the date and time to be posted, and the social media channels if your organization is using more than one. Ideally, as you create them, you're also going to include the assets, which are the photos and graphics, the text, and any links that you plan to share. This is a really simple tool and it's powerful because it allows you to be intentional in your social media presence and also plan your content in advance. So let's look at an example. So there are a bunch of different ways to set up a content calendar. No right or wrong way. Some people like to use an Excel spreadsheet. You can use a paid service like Hootsuite or Buffer, but for many small business clients and nonprofits, a Google Calendar is a perfect option. So since we only have 20 minutes today, that's the example I'm going to show you today. If you have more than, say, 5 channels, you might need something a little bit more robust. So if that's you, contact us afterwards and we're going to point you in the right direction. We like Google Calendar for several reasons. First of all, it's free. You can easily toggle between daily and weekly and monthly views like you're seeing here. And depending on whether you want to see the big picture or the details of each post. Also, if you need to reschedule or something, you can literally just drag and drop it to a different day. You can also copy things so it's easy to duplicate items if you're planning a whole series of posts. And perhaps the best reason of all is that you can share your calendar with others. So it's really easy to collaborate with your entire team. So to show you how we put it together, I'm going to do a step-by-step example from a client that we've worked with, a youth sports organization. So when I'm planning for the month, I like to start with the holidays. So Google Calendar has options for you to show national holidays like Thanksgiving, plus so-called hashtag holidays like National Taco Day, seen here in brown, which can be fun social media inspiration. Next, you wanted to add in important dates to your business or organization. So for this, we look back at our editorial calendar, which tells us that the focus for this month was going to be the fall soccer season. So I added in some key dates, which you can see in black. So I added a uniform ordering deadline, the first day of practice, when games begin. You're going to want the exact dates that are important to your business so you can plan all of your posts around them. The real meat of the calendar comes when you start adding in your specific social media posts. And because I'm a visual person, I like to assign different colors to each topic. So you can see here that the uniform stuff is in blue, all the game schedule posts are in green, registration signups are in red, and so on. And I've assigned these different colors by content, but there are other ways to do it depending on what makes sense for your organization. If you have multiple channels, you could maybe assign one color for Facebook and one color for Instagram. Another option would be a unique color for each type of post. So it could be red is videos and blue is events. Whatever works for you, no right or wrong answer. The point is that you can see at a glance all the different types of content that you have planned. So after I have those scheduled out, you'll see in purple that I fill in around those posts with our time sensitive content, things that are not, things that are evergreen. So in this case, it could be coach training or referee certification. They're kind of filler content that you could use year round. So now you have every post planned out for the entire month. And you're going to want to set goals for your organization. Are you posting every single day? If you're just getting started, maybe you're posting a minimum of 3 times a week. And we'll talk a bit about different types of content in just a moment. And after you have these planned out, if you click on an individual entry, there's a spot to include your caption and also attachments like a photo or graphics. So all the assets are right there in one place. And that is super helpful the following year when you're planning out posts again, because you might want to reuse or repackage some of this content and you'll have it all together. As you're planning out your content calendar, it's common to feel like you're struggling to come up with things to post. So keep in mind that it's not only okay, but desirable to post some information multiple times. Thanks to the social media algorithms, not every follower is going to see every post. So you have to get the same information out there multiple times in order to get the desired reach. That being said, you don't want to post the exact same post over and over again. You want to vary that content. So as you saw just back on our sports club example, we might send out an email about uniforms. And then a few days later, we post it on Facebook. And then a couple days later, we post that on Instagram. And each time we're adjusting the message to that channel, because some things have restrictions. Like on Twitter, you have character restrictions. On Instagram, you can't include links. Those have to be in the bio. So you're going to adjust that message each time to go with the channel. Then when we repeat the content on the same channel, you can make a series. So you typically would do similar content, but maybe with a different image or a different color, and update the text just a little bit so that the algorithm doesn't penalize you. Your content calendar can also help you repurpose some of that content to save time. So let's say you know you're going to put out a monthly newsletter on October 1st. You can plan individual Facebook posts with just a little bit of that newsletter content in the days following. The same goes for your blog. Blogs are a great way to improve your search engine optimization for your website. And if you're going to take the time to write them, you should definitely plan to post them on your socials as well. Just write a short little excerpt and include the link to the full post so that people are not reading the whole thing on social media. You want them to click the link and go back to your website. You can also easily share your emails on social media using the social share tool on Constant Contact. And Katrina's going to show you that in just a minute. Finally, you can breathe a sigh of relief because not every piece of content has to be something original. You can share industry news from trusted sources, and that's a great way to keep people interested and also positions you as a thought leader. So just be sure that you share a link to the original source and add a little short note of your own with your perspective, letting followers know why that piece of content would be valuable to them. So with that, I'm going to do a quick poll. This is the audience participation part. All right, and that's open now. So we're about to transition to talking about automation and post scheduling. So before we do that, we want to see how our audience out there, how you're tackling it. So go ahead, you can use your mouse to click on these. We're just going to see them in aggregate. We're not going to see your individual posts, but we'd like to know kind of how you're doing today so that we can tailor our comments. So far, about 44% of you are posting, up to 50% of you are posting directly on the social media channel. And I see 30% is other. So use the question or comment box there to tell us how you're doing it if you're using a different service. We'd love to know.
Yeah, that would be really interesting to find
Yeah.
out.
There are so many services out there. There's a couple we would recommend, but there are literally dozens to choose from. So we'd be interested. All right, and we're going to close this in 3, 2, get your last minute votes in, and close. Thank you so much for participating in that. So 54% of you are posting directly on the social media channel. And if your business is only using one channel, so say you only use Facebook, that's legitimate for sure. But the problem with that is that you can't time it. So if it needs to be posted at midnight, you have to stay up till midnight. If it's important to get posted on Sunday, you've got to run into the office on Sunday to get it posted. So we're going to show you some other options to schedule them in advance and make it a lot easier on yourself. So let's talk about that. Once you have your content calendar set for the month, you have everything that you need to schedule your post in advance. But there are a number of resources you could use. If you use Constant Contact already for your email marketing, you don't need a separate resource because Constant Contact has integrated newsletter, email, and social media features all in one place. And Katrine is going to show you how to do that live in just a moment. Another option I'll preview is the Meta Business Suite, which is a free resource for those of you using Facebook and Instagram. If you're not using email marketing, which makes us sad, and your social media strategy only includes platforms outside the metaverse, so if you're using Twitter or LinkedIn or any of those, you might need a paid scheduling tool like Hootsuite or Buffer. But keep in mind, whatever you use, all of them allow you to delete or reschedule posts. So if something changes or if something more exciting and urgent comes up, you have plenty of flexibility to be spontaneous in your post, even though you've planned them in advance.
I'm looking at what they are answering, and someone is using Canva content planner, and then someone else is using Plannable. I actually never heard about it, but we will check it out. And she says it is an amazing tool for content planning and scheduling. So
Yep,
yeah,
Plannable is a good one. All right, let's see if I can change the
we are
presenter
running
to Katrine.
late now. So let's do it quickly here. So I wanted to show from in Constant Contact how you can actually set up and post your social media posts. So if you're in Constant Contact, just go into social and under post, and we are going to create a social post about our upcoming event. So first, I need to go in and set up my social media platforms. We link them once, and that's it. And we have them all set up in here. And then I have actually already created the content, so I can copy and paste that in here. And then we need an image, and I uploaded that to the library in Constant Contact. So we are all set to post this, though we can see one thing right in here, and that is Twitter. Twitter doesn't allow us unlimited number of characters. So this is a tiny bit too long, but there is this shortened links, because we do have a link to the registration. So if I click on this, it's going to shorten it. Can you see that? To a shorter, compact link. And now we are within the limits for what Twitter allows. So we can either post it right now, or I can go in and set a different time when we want that to be posted. But this is what we need. This, I'm clicking post, and right now, within this minute, it was posted on all those 3 platforms. And if we just hang on here, we are going to later on be able to see the performance, then the reach and the engagement of the platform on those platforms. And the good thing is that we can see all 3 in one place.
Thank you so much, Katrine. All right. That is, move on to a different example, and that is the Meta Business Suite. So if you're not using email marketing and your social media is limited to Facebook and or Instagram, Meta Business Suite is another great choice. It's a free tool where you can create posts and stories and also manage your messages, and you can access it at business.facebook.com. My favorite feature is that it allows you to see both your previous post and your future scheduled content all in one calendar. So this is the monthly view. From here, you can schedule Facebook posts, also Instagram posts, and stories. You also have the option to see suggestions called moments, which are typically federal holidays like Independence Day and also hashtag holidays. So you can see at a glance on which days you have something scheduled, as well as the time and channel. You can also see a weekly view that provides some additional detail, including a thumbnail of the photos or graphics, as well as a snippet of the text. And then after the post goes live, you'll see insights such as likes and shares and engagement. So we've covered a lot of ground here. Before we go, we want to give you a little homework assignment to get you started, and hopefully you recognize these as our 3-step plan. So first, you want to identify your high-level focus areas for the year with an editorial calendar. These should align with your business goals. Then, using it as a guide, we want you to create a content calendar to plan out your posts for the entire month. Remember to vary your content. You can also repurpose content from your website, blog, or newsletter. And also, please share some relevant outside content, such as industry news. And finally, make sure it gets done by scheduling the majority of your posts in advance through either Constant Contact, Meta Business Suite, or a paid scheduling tool. And if you need a little expert advice or just some help getting started, we'll be glad to set up a consultation for you. We offer everything from just a one-time setup to get you kick-started to obviously full service, soup to nuts digital marketing.
Yeah,
and
and I just want to repeat one thing you said, that sitting down and doing this schedule planning only takes 15 minutes. And if you add another 15 to 20 minutes by at one time sitting down, writing the copy, finding the pictures and scheduling and have them ready, and you can get a full month full of social media just by doing a little bit of planning and sitting down at one occasion.
Give it a try. You're going to thank us. So we're running a little over time. I would like to take just a couple of your questions, so you can type them in the box. Katrine, do you see questions coming in?
Somehow that screen disappeared. So hang on. Give me see if we have that. Yes, with Constant Contact, is social media posting including in the basic core plan, or do we have to have the plus plan? Is what they're asking.
Okay, so yeah, they're asking, yeah, so it's included in both. So if you are a Constant Contact customer in either plan, then you have the social media tools right there at your disposal.
And someone wanted to understand what's the difference between the editorial and the content calendar.
Okay, so the editorial is basically you're giving kind of a theme to each month, or if not a theme, you're deciding to focus on each month on a particular event or product. So it's just kind of a focus area, if you will. And then the content calendar is going to be the examples that we show that have the detail of every single post. So start with the topics, plan them out either 3, 4, 5, 7 times a week. And then after that, you're going to go back in and add your images and add your captions, and that will be your content calendar.
Yep, that was
Anything else?
great.
All right.
Mhm.
If you think of more questions later, please just email us. We are here to help.
Yeah, and if you feel that you want to get started, but all of this looks way too big, let us know. We will help you set things up, and then we can actually teach you step by step how to do this and hold your hand for a couple of months until you get sufficient in all the different techniques in here.
Absolutely. And we're going to take a little break, but we'll be back in 3 weeks with the next part of our series. And we're going to be talking about paid advertising and how that can supplement or kickstart your social media success. So here you have our contact information. Please feel free to email us, call us. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining us. You've been a great audience, and we'll see you in 3 weeks.